Have you ever caught yourself getting angry over and over again, even though you don't want to? When anxiety keeps you from sleeping peacefully, and irritation flares up even over little things? Now imagine there's a way where you're no longer a slave to these emotions. Sounds unreal? That's exactly why this video can change your life, because everything you thought you knew about anger and worry is only part of the picture. Buddhist wisdom offers a completely different perspective. Not to suppress emotions, but to understand their nature. Not to fight with yourself, but to awaken. Here you'll learn why anger isn't an enemy, but a teacher. Why anxiety disappears when you stop clinging to it. And most importantly, how simple daily practices can bring you to a state of inner freedom, clarity, and peace. This isn't magic. It's mental training available to everyone. Watch until the end, and you'll discover a secret that's been passed down from master to student for centuries. So why does a person, even one striving for spirituality, suddenly feel a flash of rage or sink into a pit of anxiety? Buddhist wisdom tells us, it's not about the world itself, but about how we perceive it. The source of all our suffering is attachment. We're attached to our expectations, to ideas of how things should be. We've already written a script for how others should behave, how our day should go. And when reality turns out differently, anger flares up. At the root of anxiety lies fear. Fear of loss, fear of not coping, fear of not being good enough. Our mind tries to control everything, creating an illusion of safety. But life, by its nature, is changeable and unpredictable. By trying to control what can't be controlled, we enter into an endless struggle with reality. And the harder we fight, the deeper our anxiety becomes. We become slaves to thoughts about what might happen, forgetting to live in what is. Imagine you're holding a rope tied to a wild horse. The harder it pulls, the more your hands hurt. But if you let go of the rope, you're free again. The same goes for life. Accepting that you can't control everything isn't weakness, but the greatest wisdom. This is the path to peace. By letting go of control, we don't let everything fall apart. We start to trust the natural flow of life. The energy we used to spend on struggle and tension is released and invested in awareness. And here we come to the first step of true transformation, acceptance. This word is often misunderstood. Acceptance isn't surrender or agreeing with injustice. It's a conscious recognition of reality as it is, without trying to push it away. It's like sitting on the riverbank and watching the river flow. You can't stop its current, but you can stop fighting the waves, and that alone brings great relief. You don't have to enjoy what's happening, but you can stop suffering over what you can't change. When you accept, you stop seeing the world as a threat and begin to see it as a field for spiritual growth. Difficulties become opportunities, and mistakes, steps on the path. Start small. Throughout the day, notice moments when you're internally resisting. In that moment, take a breath and mentally say to yourself, I choose to accept this. You'll be surprised how the tension leaves and a lightness appears inside. This is inner liberation. But what about the emotions of others? Often, like a sponge, we absorb someone else's irritation or anxiety. Compassion isn't the same as dissolving in someone else's pain. You can be a light next to suffering, but not become another sufferer. For this, you need a simple but powerful practice. When you feel a wave of someone else's emotions, ask yourself, is this mine or someone else's? Realizing you're carrying what isn't yours, it's much easier to let go. Imagine a soft light around you, protecting your space. It doesn't make you closed off, it makes you whole. You remain open but keep your inner silence. Once there was a wise monk. One day he gathered his students and told a parable. Imagine, he said, someone gives you a gift, but you don't accept it. Who does the gift belong to? The students replied, to the one who gives it. Exactly, nodded the monk. It's the same with emotions. When someone gives you their anger and you don't accept it, it stays with them. This simple story is the key to emotional freedom. Every time someone tries to hand you a gift of criticism or irritation, remember this parable. You don't have to accept it. Your calm is your choice. Of all the practices Buddhism offers, the most accessible and powerful is mindful breathing. It's always with you. When emotions are boiling, stop and just feel your breath. Inhale and exhale. This is your anchor. This is the bridge between chaos and silence. A deep, slow exhale sends your body the signal, everything is okay. And your body listens. Your heartbeat evens out, your mind calms. This isn't mysticism, it's physiology. Pause right now. Take a deep breath for 4 counts, and a slow exhale for 6. Feel how your state changes. Sometimes the strongest thing we can do is nothing. Not to respond to provocation, not to justify ourselves. Just be silent. In this pause between stimulus and response lies all your power. You stop being a puppet of emotions and become the master of your inner energy. Your silence isn't swallowing resentment. It's a conscious choice not to feed conflict. When you're silent, you begin to hear not only others, but yourself as well. Finally, it's important to understand, you are not your thoughts. Our mind constantly generates thoughts, anxious, angry, sad. They're like clouds in the sky, they come and go. But you are the sky itself. You're the one who observes them. As soon as you stop believing every thought and identifying with it, it loses its power over you. You can say, "Thank you, mind, I hear you, but I choose peace." And gently shift your attention to your breath, to sensations in your body, to the present moment. It's in the present moment that the main secret of freedom is hidden. The past is memory, the future is fantasy. Only, here and now, is reality. Most of our suffering comes from thoughts about what was, or fears about what will be. But as soon as you return to the present moment, through breathing, through sensations, through simple attention to what you're doing, anxiety disappears. Peace appears. So, this whole journey, from being a slave to emotions to being free, consists of simple steps. Stop trying to control everything. Accept reality as it is. Don't take on other people's negativity. Use your breath as an anchor. And remember that you are not your thoughts. This doesn't require perfection, it requires practice. What will your next step be? Let it be simple. Write in the comments what was most valuable for you in this video, and set your intention. For example, I choose inner peace. These aren't just words, this is the first step to a new, free, and conscious state. Subscribe to our channel, because there's even more wisdom, practices, and discoveries ahead on the path to yourself.